first thing I'd say is you need to practice. I think people are intrinsically lazy. Client and counselor. All of us. And I think people want to have things happen by just, going the seat of their pants. And so in that situation, I'd be saying, what do you want? What would you like? And let's talk about that. And you want to get them to a place where, wow, I can do this. It's a good idea.
What do you do about the? How do you and God work with this person? Do you think this person should be taught how to deal with God about this motivation?
Sort of. Let's start with realism. What is true? What's real? Why do you want this job? And that may lead you to, what do you really want? Do you just want money? Do you want the responsibility? Do you want the headaches? Or do you feel that you can add something to this organization? That kind of thing, and get them to be thinking why they want it. Mm-hmm.
And they come here and they need to know that this perception is going to come up unless they say they don't want to. So if someone who said they wanted to integrate God into their working life somehow, maybe 5%, whatever, you're not going to shove them 100%.
It's interesting, without thinking of this content, the first thing I said was reality. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what you're really pointing us to, in a way. But if ambitious and, all that sort of thing, that leads you, there's a whole thing to do about ambition and, is this what God wants? That sort of thing would be relevant at some point, depending on. But as a practical thing, I would just say, well, why do you want the job? What is it? What is really making you want this job? And that may start to define. They've got ambition. They want to move up. They want status or whatever. And then somehow you've got to get them to feel what success really feels like. What does it really feel like being in that guy's job? Maybe they're the right person for it.
True, and if you do that process, yes, it's a long process, and
Mm-hmm.
there has to be a balance in this side of it and the person's integrity.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
if the person walks out with skills to get through the power struggle long enough to knock off the boss and take the job,
Right.
what have you done for the kingdom of God?
Yeah, you've got rebellion. You've got a usurper who's taken the throne. Yeah.
And maybe if you challenge the ethics at the same time, maybe they'll walk away mad and never come back, but they've gone away with something that the Lord will use how the Lord will use.
if you can, like we said, it takes a long time, because if someone comes in and you ask them what do they want, many of our clients don't know. That's a huge question. That's a question that's going to answer itself over some time. But maybe through questions and dividing it up little at a time, encouraging and challenging, and get to the point that maybe he can learn, encourage him to learn all he can from this boss. And then in the right time, God may open up another job for him that's the right one. Instead of thinking of taking something from someone, equip yourself.
And remember, the way you're phrasing this is not a bad thing.
No.
It's adult.
Yes. And like I had to learn over the years so many things that I had to learn to think adult-like. And I always desired to, but I didn't know how in some areas. So that's why we are such teachers in the counseling office.
So you're balancing child and
Mm-hmm.
adult to encourage the life of
Yeah. And not that it's bad to want that kind of job, but not that person's job. That's the ethical part. Because if you learn all you can from this boss that you really don't click with, but you have this opportunity to learn from him. And then pray that God will put you in the place where you're supposed to be, if that's your desire. It's a balance.
You need to find out if the person is willing to embrace that.
Yeah. Absolutely.